Stay Kevin. Test. Take one. Yeah, okay.
Okay, so my name is Kevin Budden. I am the Partner Sales Manager for Southeast Asia, and that's KEVIN BUDDEN.
Right. Okay. Right. So as we talked about, repeating the question back when you can. So I'm going to ask you basically the same question again. So who are you and what's your role in this project?
My name is Kevin Budden. I am the Partner Sales Manager for Southeast Asia, and my role in this project is one of commercial support for our partner Retters, as well as liaising with the client 7-Eleven to ensure client satisfaction.
So talking about this project then, how would you sum up the impact so far? Would it be as expected or better than expected?
The impact of this project so far, I think if you were to look at where we started in terms of the client's expectations, with a contractual minimum saving of 10%, we've dramatically outstripped that. Today we stand somewhere around between 20 and 25% as an average. So I think where we started from a client expectation point of view and where we are today is very, very different and lays a great platform for what we can do going forwards.
In terms of a single store, what would you say the best performance you've seen is?
If we were to look at the best store we have, the saving percentage would be 36%, which is representative of just over 3,000 kilowatt hours.
Audio okay, Amy? Okay. Okay. Dengar fridge tak dengar? Tak. Yeah, the fridge is here.
What about a more typical saving across the stores?
Typical saving, I mean, obviously when you're dealing with, getting on for 600 sites, it can vary quite dramatically. If we were to look at an average, we'd be looking at anywhere from 18 to 25%.
And would you say that is sort of isolated, or do you think that's quite repeatable?
As to whether or not we can repeat that, we've got 600 sites here, and that is the average across those sites. There is no reason to suggest we couldn't go to Indonesia or Thailand and do exactly the same thing. The model we have is working time and again, and I think that we've got a massive opportunity right now to deliver an awesome level of value for 7-Eleven.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah. Can you figure a bit? Yeah.
No, exactly. I think when it gets excessive like that, when it's just a little bit, it's not too bad. Okay, so talking about the impact over the life of the project and the whole shebang, can you quantify that impact?
So in terms of impact across the life of the project, so bearing in mind what we have right now is a 6-year contract, the total savings value in dollars would be getting on for $8 million.
What about environmentally then? How does that translate into environmental impact?
I don't know, you'd need to tell me.
Almost 10,000 tonnes of CO2.
Okay. In terms of the environmental impact, we'd be looking at almost 10,000 tonnes of CO2.
Okay, great. And then for those translation figures, almost 2,500 Malaysian homes switched on, compensated for, and almost 380,000 air miles. So the question being, in terms of that environmental impact, could you translate that into something more accessible?
So if we were to take the impact that we've had and change that into something that most people would understand, the saving we've achieved is the equivalent to effectively turning off 2,500 typical Malaysian households, or offsetting 380,000 air miles.
Fantastic. Can we do a version where you run those two together? So in terms of the life of the contract value, so $8 million savings,
yep.
Almost 10,000 tonnes of CO2, and
yep.
translate that to 2,500 homes and 380,000 hours.
Yep.
Makes sense? Okay, so talk to me about the impact overall across the estate.
So the impact overall, based on what we've got right now, in in dollar and cents terms, we'd be looking at saving $8 million US. If we translate that into something that most people would understand from an equivalency point of view, you're looking at turning off 2,500 Malaysian households, or the equivalent of 380,000 air miles.
Good. So what about the shared savings model then, and how that influences impact? Is that a positive factor?
So when you're talking about shared savings, obviously there is a massive motivator there in terms of us as an energy saving company going the extra mile hand in hand with our partners RETES. So every percent that we can add to the contract, every additional percent we can save, is obviously a percentage point that we share and the client gets benefit from as well.
Okay, good. So how might Best do that? Are they the sort of company that develops new products, or how might they influence that?
So in terms of how Best help with the over delivery and help with the project, you know, we're directly invested in this. This is not a case of we've handed it over to the partner and they're running with it. We are literally hand in hand working with them, to the point where we actually have 3 members of full-time staff that work on this project live day to day with RETES. So ongoing impact could be some of the future developments we have in the development pipeline right now. You know, we've got things like occupancy sensing, you know, temperature, humidity sensing. All of these things, when they come online later in the year after the International Partner Conference, will have a massive impact on the value that we can deliver for 7-Eleven.
In terms of impact so far, is there one particular product that stood out?
In terms of the impact and, you know, I guess the product that delivers the biggest bang for buck at the moment, you know, we're in a very tropical, humid, warm climate. Obviously, air conditioning is always going to be the main consumer here. So ACES 2 has had a fantastic impact. It's really allowed us to go that extra mile and not only, you know, save more for the client, but also with things like duty cycles. You know, we can actually help the client in terms of the way they maintain and manage their day-to-day operation.
How far do you think this project could go, both in terms of just 7-Eleven, but also in terms of maybe Asia and maybe further afield?
Yeah, as we look forward into the future and just how big we could take this, 7-Eleven have, I believe, getting on for just over 40,000 sites globally. You know, if you were to look at Thailand alone, they've got just over 10,000 sites. You know, there's no reason we couldn't be doing exactly the same thing for, okay, start again. In terms of where we can take this in the future, yeah, if you look at a client the size of 7-Eleven, over 40,000 sites globally, you know, there's no reason why we couldn't be doing the same thing for all of those sites. We could then also look at, you know, other businesses in the same space, whether it be convenience stores or even moving into the food and beverage, quick service restaurant market. There is, you know, absolute, you know, massive possibility to replicate this time and time again, not only here in Southeast Asia, but also globally.
In terms of 7-Eleven, then, how do you understand the client feels about the impact that you've had so far?
In terms of how the client feels, excuse me. So in terms of how the client feels, we started out with a goal of achieving a minimum of 10%. And we've dramatically by far and away exceeded that. In terms of, you know, that's in terms of dollar and cents. Where we can take this in terms of other benefits to the client, we're already talking to them about things like predictive maintenance.
How to phrase it? Do you think it's something that 7-Eleven would be recommending? Do you think it's something they're enthusiastic about?
Do I think the client would recommend us to someone else? Absolutely. Why wouldn't they? You know, we would, you know, month after month, they can see the impact. You know, they receive their, you know, here in Malaysia, it would be their TNB bill. They can see from a dollar and cents point of view exactly what the saving is. That's before we then start talking about granular circuit by circuit level detail in terms of Enoscope analytics and being able to prove to the client exactly what we're achieving on an application by application basis.
In terms of impact beyond the monetary then, what else do you think is useful for them? Do you think they value the visibility, for example, and how valuable in the future do you think a maintenance impact?
Outside of monetary savings, outside of the financial impact of an energy saving product like this, start again. So outside of the financial savings and the clear financial benefit of an energy saving project like this.
In fact, just pause, Kev, once this transaction happens. Right, go.
Outside of the financial impact of having an energy savings project like this, there's also very real issues that convenience stores face, such as maintenance. If the air conditioning isn't running, then the footfall won't be as high because it's an uncomfortable environment for their customers to be in. Things like predictive maintenance in the future will actually help us enhance client footfall and ultimately lead to either maintaining or potentially even increasing the client's turnover.
I don't know the answer to this, but what about from the PR point of view? Is it something that 7-Eleven shout about, the amount that they're saving energy-wise?
One of the additional benefits to the client of what we do, and sometimes it's not so obvious, but many companies these days do have a corporate social responsibility policy. So having an energy saving project and being seen to be green is something that a client like 7-Eleven can really shout about.
Cool. Well, I'm out of questions unless there's any further questions I want to make. Lost on camera. Anything we've missed?
Is there anything you want to cover again? Any questions where I wasn't so clear? Anything where I stumbled halfway through?
To be honest, I think really
Can we do the intro again, actually?
Yeah, the intro. With the intro, although you will have a caption saying what company you're from, you didn't actually mention your company by name.
Did I not?
That would be worth it. It doesn't actually matter too much because you would be from Best on the screen, but even so.
Okay.
Yeah, if you do that, I'll think about if there's any we want to do again.
Okay. So my name is Kevin Budden. I am the partner sales manager for Best here in Southeast Asia. My role primarily revolves around working with our partners on the commercial opportunities we have, such as working with Okay, so my name is Kevin Budden. I'm the partner sales manager for Best here in Southeast Asia. In terms of my Okay, my name is Kevin Budden. I am the partner sales manager for Best here in Southeast Asia. My role primarily is to work with our partners to deliver the commercial opportunities we have, such as working with a prestigious client like 7-Eleven.
Yeah.
Okay, no problem. Okay.
How are you doing? Any questions there that you thought we should redo again? Got any input?
Audio. Speed. Kevin, take 2.
So, can you explain who you are and what your role is with this project?
My name is Kevin Budden. I am the partner sales manager for Best here in Southeast Asia. And my role is really to support our partners from a commercial point of view on working with opportunities like the project we've got with 7-Eleven.
Okay. Can you talk to me a little bit about that project? How many sites we're talking about? What sort of client is 7-Eleven?
So the 7-Eleven project here in Malaysia, we started out with a proof of value, and that then transpired into a rollout. We started with a rollout of just over 300 sites, and I'm pleased to say that today we're already contracted for 600 sites. So starting with a contractual minimum saving of 10%, we've already dramatically outstripped that, and now we're looking at an average being anything between 18 to 25%.
What about on a single store basis? What's the best performance we've seen?
If we were to take a look at our best performing store in terms of a single site, we'd be looking at a 36% saving. Now, of course, that's not typical of the estate, but I think it's a great example of what can be achieved.
What's the model on which this project is based in terms of shared savings? And what role do you think that plays in helping performance on the project?
So the model for this project is what we would refer to as shared savings, which basically means that every dollar, every kilowatt hour that we save is shared between ourselves and our partner, and of course the client. So every dollar is split, and the client gets the benefit of course, not only having an outlet that's been dramatically upgraded and has cutting-edge energy-saving technology, but of course they get to keep some of those savings as well. From our point of view, the reason the shared savings model works for us is, of course, we're motivated to go and get more. You know, we want to be really pushing the boundaries in terms of squeezing out every single percentage point we can.
In terms of the products that are involved in this project, what are the products that have been used? And if you had to mention one, which would you say is the most impressive?
So the products that are being used for this project is what we would refer to as the best technology stack. So it comprises of Enoscope, our flagship energy monitoring platform. And then we also have, of course, in a very hot, humid environment like what we have here in Malaysia, we've got ACES 2, we've also got Qs and voltage optimization. If I had to pin it down to one product having a bigger impact than the others, of course, because of the weather, we're always going to be looking at air conditioning. So ACES 2 has allowed us not only to deliver, consistent, great results, but it's also allowed us to introduce things like duty cycles for the client and actually enhance the way that they run their operation day to day.
In terms of the global possibilities of a project like this, how does the fact that RETES are a part of the BEST network mean that clients all over the world could enjoy this sort of result?
So in terms of looking to the future, of course, BEST, we do have a truly global network, and there's no reason that we couldn't replicate the success that RETES have experienced here with 7-Eleven in other territories around the world. There's no reason that just within Southeast Asia we can go to Thailand or Indonesia and do the same thing. And our partners globally have got the potential to replicate the fantastic results that we've had here, but in their own territory.
Okay, so I'm happy with answer content. You have the audio levels.
Audio?
Kev's, yeah, maybe he's loud enough relative to the fridge.
Yeah, clear. Everything okay? Video okay? Yeah. Okay, yeah?
I'm happy with
You happy? Yeah. Audio fit. Simon, take one.
My name is Simon Jennings. I'm the Marketing Director for BEST Energy. So from the BEST perspective, we're incredibly proud to be working with RETES Energy on a project like this. And it's worth remembering that RETES is a part of a global network. We have partners in more than 40 countries worldwide with the same training, same expertise, the same product portfolio, all of the things that made RETES so successful in this scenario. And with all of those things, all of our partners have the tools that they need to succeed in similar projects. So if you're a convenience store owner or owner of it, if you're a convenience store owner or an owner of a chain of convenience stores, then this sort of project is exactly what we can do for you. I'm probably going to do this a few times. So from the best perspective, we are incredibly proud to be working with Retes Energy on a project like this. And it's worth remembering that Retes is one of a number of global partners for BEST, with the same training, the same products, the same experience and the same global command center that underpin Retes for this project. So it's very much replicable worldwide. BEST are specialists in the convenience sector, in saving energy in this sector. So if you're interested in doing a similar thing to this project, then reach out to us. We'd love to speak to you. So if you're interested in doing a similar thing in the same sector, then reach out to us. This project was delivered with no cost to the client on a shared savings basis, with a product portfolio that's available worldwide. It's a difficult one to know how to end. So if you're running a business in the convenience sector, then reach out to us. We'd love to speak to you. This project was delivered in a way... Okay. So from the BEST perspective, we are incredibly proud and pleased to be working with Retes and 7-Eleven here in Malaysia. But it's worth remembering that Retes is one of a number of global partners with BEST, all armed with the same products, the same training, the same global support center that have made Retes such a success in this instance. So if you're running a convenience store business and you're interested in saving energy, then reach out to us. We'd love to speak to you. This project, remember, was delivered with no cost to the client on a shared savings basis and is saving an average of around 25% or up to 25% rubbish. This project was delivered with no cost to the client on a shared savings basis and is saving between 18 and 25% on energy costs, with a huge amount of additional benefits on top of that. We can deliver this project anywhere in the world. So if you're interested in saving energy and you'd like to do so with no capital outlay, then talk to BEST. Better.
So you're almost like talking to the audience.
So that's what I'm trying to work out, really. I'm trying to judge it, because this is not how we would usually end a video like this. We'd usually have 7-Eleven giving a recommendation, and then it would, fade from there. So I'm trying to work out, without making it too overtly salesy,
Direct,
and too overtly direct, how to balance it. Just not. Basically, I'll just run it a few times, say it different ways, and we'll work out what plays the best.
I'm just wondering because if you're like talking to the audience, it would be better for you to look into the camera instead of from third person.
Yeah.
If you're talking to the audience, but if you're talking from a third person perspective to another person, would be off camera.
Yeah. So I don't want to be so obvious.
Yeah. But can we do both?
Yeah, definitely. Yeah. Yeah, okay.
Okay, sorry, cut.
Simon, take 2.
So from the BEST perspective, we are incredibly proud to be working with Retes on this project here in Malaysia with 7-Eleven. And it's worth remembering that Retes are a part of a global network of partners, all of whom have the same training, the same products, the same expertise, and the same access to the global command center, all of which have made Retes so successful in this case. So if you're in the convenience sector and looking to save energy, then my advice to you would be, don't delay. Speak to BEST, and we can deliver the very same project to you wherever you are in the world. So from the BEST perspective, we are incredibly proud to be working with Retes on this project. So from the BEST perspective, we are incredibly proud to be working with Retes and 7-Eleven on this project here in Malaysia. But it's worth remembering that Retes are a part of a global partner network, one with the same training, the same products, the same global command center, the same things that have made Retes so successful in this case. So if you're in the convenience sector anywhere in the world and you'd like to save energy and increase your profit margins, then talk to Best. We can deliver this project anywhere that you are, and we'd love to speak to you. Would you say, with that sort of balance, that off-camera is still okay? So that was a little bit less commercial.
Absolutely.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, okay. So from the Best perspective, we are incredibly proud to be working with Retes and with 7-Eleven on this project here in Malaysia. And it's worth remembering that Retes is a part of a global partner network with the same training, the same products, the same global command center, all of the things that have made Retes so successful in this case. So if you operate in the convenience sector and you'd like to save energy and increase your profit margins anywhere in the world, then we'd love to speak to you. It's better. So from the Best perspective, we are incredibly proud and rubbish. Done it enough times. So from the Best perspective, we are incredibly proud and pleased to be working with Retes and with 7-Eleven on this project here in Malaysia. But it's worth remembering that Retes are a part of a global partner network, one with the same training, products and global command center, all of the things that have made Retes so successful here. So if you're in the convenience sector and you're looking to save energy, increase your profit margins, and you want to do all of that without any upfront cost on a shared savings basis, then we'd love to speak to you. What do you reckon, Kev? Any other key call to action? That was a better one. Yeah, I think the shared savings aspect's important.
Okay, you just do the last part one,
Mhm.
and then at the end, just smile and pause.
Smile and
Yeah,
pause.
just smile and pause.
Okay.
Give it a bit of food, and then.
Okay. So from the Best perspective, we are incredibly proud and incredibly pleased to be working with Retes and with 7-Eleven on this project here in Malaysia. But it's worth remembering that Retes is a part of a global partner network, one with the same training, the same products, and the same global command center, all the same things that have made Retes so successful in this case. So if you're in the convenience sector and you're interested in saving energy and increasing your profit margins and doing so with no upfront cost on a shared savings basis, then we'd love to speak to you. It's a very poorly placed
Is it? Yeah, that one's good. Okay. Okay, ready?
Take 56.
Simon, take 3.
So from the Best perspective, we are incredibly proud, incredibly pleased to be working with Retes and with 7-Eleven. Sorry. So from the Best perspective, we are incredibly proud and incredibly pleased to be working with Retes and 7-Eleven on this project here in Malaysia. And it's worth remembering that Retes are a part of a global network with the same training, the same products, the same global command center, all of the things that have made Retes so successful in this case. So if you're in the convenience store sector and you're looking to save costs on energy and increase your profit margins, and you'd like to do so with no upfront costs on a shared savings basis, then please speak to us.
Good. Yeah. Good. Take your feedback. Oh.
Simon, take 4.
So from the Best perspective, we are incredibly proud to be working with Retes and with 7-Eleven on this project here in Malaysia. But it's worth remembering that Retes are a part of a global network with the same training, the same products, the same expertise and the same global command center that underpins this project here in Malaysia, he says again. So from the Best perspective, we are incredibly proud to be working with Retes and with 7-Eleven on this project here in Malaysia. And it's worth remembering that Retes are a part of a global network with the same products, the same training and the same global command center that have made Retes so successful here. So if you're in the convenience sector and you're looking to save money on your energy costs, looking to increase your profit margins and do so without any capital outlay on a shared savings basis, then we'd love to speak to you. Happy?
Simon, take 5.
So from the best perspective, we are incredibly proud to be working with Retes and 7-Eleven here in Malaysia. But it's worth remembering that Retes are a part of a global network, one with the same training, the same products and the same global command center that have underpinned this project here in Malaysia. So if you're in the convenience sector and you're looking to save energy, you're looking to increase your profit margins and do so without any upfront costs on a shared savings basis, then we'd love to speak to you. Yeah.
Simon, take 6.
So from the best perspective, we are incredibly proud to be working with Retes and with 7-Eleven here in Malaysia. But it's worth remembering that Retes are a part of a global network, one with the same training, the same products, the same global command center, all of the things that have made Retes so successful here in Malaysia. So if you're in the convenience sector and you're looking to save money on your energy costs and you're looking to increase your profit margins and do so without any upfront cost, then we'd love to speak to you. I totally forgot. I totally forgot.
Yeah, that was actually good because you have like things going on in the background. Like,
That was better.
Yeah.
Okay.
you're talking like-
Totally forgot about Smart.
Yeah. Okay. Alright, good. Yeah.
Alright.
So.
Simon, take 6.
So from the best perspective, we are incredibly proud to be working here with Retes and with 7-Eleven in Malaysia. It's quite noisy in the background.
Boleh ke, Mi? Boleh. Boleh, I think. Boleh.
So from the best perspective, we are incredibly proud to be working here with Retes and with 7-Eleven in Malaysia. But it's worth remembering that Retes are a part of a global network, one with the same training, the same products, the same expertise, all of the things that have made Retes so successful here in Malaysia. So if you're in the convenience sector and you're looking to save money on your energy costs and increase your profit margins, and you'd like to do so with no upfront cost on a shared savings basis, then we'd love to speak to you. Still totally forgot to smile.
No, that was right.
That was better.
That was better. Very
Yeah,
clever, yes.
that was better.
Yes, I think we got it. That was nice. Because
Okay, Muhammad Zuhairi Muhammad Izhar, MOHAMAD ZUWAIRI MOHAD IZHAR. Project Maintenance Manager for 7-Eleven.
yeah, boleh cakap benda bagus.
Okay.
I level lah.
Okay.
It's your bit for.
Yeah.
So, we're Asians.
Sure, no problem.
Yeah, benda baru je.
Okay. Yeah. Sure.
Okay, so can you tell me your name and your role in this project?
Hi, my name is Muhammad Zuhairi Fahir bin Muhammad Izhar. I'm project maintenance manager for 7-Eleven. I'm served for 7-Eleven around 2 years right now.
Okay, great. So for a store like this, where is energy usually wasted?
Typically, we know that 7-Eleven is operate for 24/7, right? So most of the equipment that give us lot of waste energy is, for sure, is air conditioning and chiller lah. But number one is aircon.
Okay. Is that something that's specific to Malaysia? I mean, with the heat, for example, when that works?
Okay, the best temperature for our store is 24 to 25 Celsius. So it's quite hard for us to reach the target because we have a lot of heat from outside of our stores. Normally in our room temperature is around 25 and outside of our stores is around 30s, right? So it's hard for us. So we need to use 2 or 3 aircon in one time to make our stores in good temperature, which is 24 to 25 Celsius.
So obviously on this project you're working with two companies, you've got Retes Energy and Best. How have you found the experience working with those two companies?
Okay, to be honest, energy saving is kind of new project that we get involved, 7-Eleven get involved. And based on my experience, when I work with BEST and retest, that's really good, and they really help us, really help 7-Eleven to save our energy. They have a lot of creativity, initiative, and they are open to help us as best as they can. So I'm really happy and really impressive work with them.
What about the impact of the energy savings then? Has it exceeded expectations, or has it been what you expected from the start? How's it been?
Okay, to be honest, this project is in the beginning of the project, in the middle of the project. So for now, we can see the saving, and minimum we can hit the target for each store that involved in this program is around 10% of saving energy, and some stores we can reach 35 and 40% easily. So that's really good and really help us in saving our energy.
And what about this store specifically? Do you know how well this particular store's doing?
Okay, for now we take average for 12 months for this store. So when we monitor around 2 or 3 months right now, we get around 35% of savings for this store. That's really good, and our target at the end of our project, we can reach more higher and higher saving in future. That's really good.
Good, really good. Delivery is really good, by the way. You're coming across really nice.
Yeah.
What about the solution that's being installed here? Is there a particular product that you'd say is the sort of standout?
So for me, we have Aniscope, we have SS2, and we have VO, right? Voltage optimizer. But the best thing is, currently we are going to do live monitoring in our system, in our store. So the best thing is we have Aniscope. Aniscope is the best product that we have in this energy program, because we can live monitoring all of our device. So for me, Aniscope is kind of our second eyes after our staff in the stores. So Aniscope is the best product, and I hope in future the Aniscope can improve and serve us more in energy saving and in future for monitoring our device.
Good answer.
Yeah.
So what about other businesses then? 7-Eleven's obviously making good progress on energy savings.
Yeah.
Do you think other businesses should be doing the same thing?
Yeah, should be, because for me it's great if my others companies do the savings, do the program in energy saving, because for us in Malaysia right now, we are going to eco green, right? So our country are going to be more friendly to eco, to nature and everything. And beside going friendly with nature, we can save a lot in costing for pay our electricity and everything. So I'm really propose to our others retailer, our others competitors to make a program in energy. This is really good and give a good benefit for us and for ours.
Okay, so I mean, that's basically run through the original questions I've got.
Yeah.
So because it's so short, we'll just go through them again.
Yeah.
Answers-wise, I thought you did really well.
Yeah.
Delivery's really nice. So,
Yeah.
there are a couple there, particularly the last one,
Mm.
where you didn't immediately reflect back the question particularly well. You sort of got back to it, but in the edit it'll be even easier for us if you say it
Yeah.
to start.
Yeah.
So, for example, when I said, how important do you think it is that businesses everywhere do a similar thing?
Okay.
You could start with, well, I think that businesses everywhere should be looking to.
Okay. Sure.
That's good. Okay, so from the top then, do you want to break and take?
Yeah.
Take 3.
Okay, so can you tell me your name and what your role is with this project?
Okay. Hi, I'm Muhammad Azwari Fahir bin Muhammad Izhar. I'm project maintenance manager for 7-Eleven, and I already served for 2 years in 7-Eleven Malaysia.
Good. Now, one thing I would say there is a lot of people viewing this will be in England or America or
Yeah.
something. They would not have picked up your name there because of how fast you said it.
Yeah.
So maybe let's do that again, but just slow the name down.
Sure,
a little
no
bit
problem.
And just think about the international audience.
Okay. Sure. No problem.
So, name and your role in the project.
Okay, hi. My name is Muhammad Zuhairi Fahir bin Muhammad Izhar. I'm project maintenance manager for 7-Eleven Malaysia, and I already served for 7-Eleven for 2 years.
Okay, so for a store like this, what areas typically waste the most energy?
Normally, we know 7-Eleven operate for 24 hours, especially in Malaysia. So the most typical equipment that give us a lot of waste energy is aircon and chiller. And the number one is, I can say it, aircon.
Okay, good. So what is it about Malaysia that makes air conditioning such a difficult
So for us, it's difficult to maintain our room temperature because we have a lot of different height of different in the room temperature and the outside temperature. For example, we need to maintain the room temperature to convenient to our client is around 24 to 25 Celsius, and outside of our store, the temperature is around 30, 31. So it's hard for us to maintain it. So we need to use 2 or 3 aircon in one time to make our our store is convenient to our client, our customer.
What about the relationship with Best and Retes? How have you found working with those two companies?
Okay, for me, this is the first time I work with Retest and Best, and what I can say it really good, and they give lot of information, lot of helps, lot of hands to help us to maintain our energy and to reduce our waste of energy. So for me, it really impressive and that's good. I'm happy with it.
Have you been pleased on the impact of the energy savings relative to what you expected originally?
Yeah, for me, to be honest, it's quite impressive because our minimum target is around 20, and some stores we can get around 25, and some stores we get 35. That's really good. The more the saving, the more we like it. So that's good for us. The more the saving is good.
Great.
Yeah.
I mean, from your perspective, when you say the more savings, the better, is that because it's on the shared savings basis?
Yeah. Actually, that is more on the cost for us to pay the electricity, because currently at some stores we have the consumption of energy is really high, and because of lot of problem, usage of aircon, usage of chiller and everything. By join the energy program, lot of problem we can solve, and we get lot of savings in this program. So it will be good, it will maintain our cost, and it will long lasting for our equipment if we use it in correct order. So that is good.
Is there a particular product of the solution that's been installed that's impressed you the most?
The most impressed product for me is Aniscope, because for me Aniscope is kind of product that second eyes for us to monitoring all of our equipment in our stores. So for me, all of equipment that installed for energy, the best is Aniscope.
So what is it about Aniscope that you like the most? Is it the ability to view the energy, the dashboard?
For me, I can get almost everything from Aniscope. I can see the power consumption, I can see the voltage level, and I can see, the best thing is I can see, which is, for example, for our aircon, is it function or not? Is it function in the correct time? For example, we set 7 a.m. to 7 p.m. for aircon 1, 7 p.m. to 7 a.m. to aircon 2. So we can monitor it just by Aniscope, rather than we send other people, or I send any technician to come to the site to see which is the aircon is function or not, based on our SLA.
Okay. So from a maintenance perspective, it's quite useful as well. So
Yeah.
you can see when things are not
Yeah, that's good. Yeah. So it's really good because for maintenance wise, it's really good because for example, from Aniscope we can see, for example, at our outdoor the compressor is going to high amp, so we can avoid to ask our vendor to come to rectify the unit after it faulty. We can come before it faulty because Aniscope can give us the data, the compressor going to high amp, and we can repair before it faulty. So the downtime will be less. So because our target is all of our sales equipment in the store, we need to solve it within 48 hours. So by use Aniscope will help us without, I think we can reduce the number of downtime. That is good.
So what about other businesses then? Do you think other businesses should be following your 7-Eleven's lead and saving energy?
Yeah, for me, that is important, and it will be good if others business to follow 7-Eleven to do the energy saving. It will be great for them, and we already feel it, and we hope we can get more savings, more benefit in this program, and that's good.
What about this particular store? Do you know how much energy this store's been able to save?
Okay, for average, we take the reading around 12 months for this store, and the high peak of the saving of this store is around 35%. So that's really good and quite high number. And in future, if this store can, if this product can give this store around 40 or 45% for saving will be really good. So we hope for that.
So I'm going to do two questions again. The first of which is the maintenance one, which I didn't ask before, so I just want another copy of that because that's a really interesting aspect. And the second of which is the other businesses one, just because of the way you started the answer won't be so easy in the edit. So first one with the maintenance then.
Okay.
So talk to me about how the fact that you've got Enoscopes in makes maintenance easy.
Okay. So again.
So the fact that you've got Enoscope in now, you're able to monitor consumption. How is that making maintenance easier for 7-Eleven?
Okay, for me, how Enoscope make maintenance is more easier for us because, for example, we know when compressor going to high amp, so the temperature the unit cannot give a good supply. For example, we set for 24 Celsius. So if the compressor is going high amp, so going to high amp, so the compressor will work harder. So it will become faulty because of that. So by using Enoscope, they can trigger to us, okay, the compressor is going to faulty, the compressor is going to high amp. So before the compressor going to real faulty, so we can arrange team to replace the compressor to the new one. So there are no downtime at our store for aircon.
Okay.
Yeah.
A question I've just thought about.
Yeah.
What about customer experience? Because I know customer experience is really important.
Yeah.
It's like something. Has the solutions that have been installed, has that impacted customer experience at all, or has it been a positive impact? How have you found that?
Actually, that energy saving is not really disturb our convenience of our customer. And for us at 7-Eleven, our minimum target is 24 and 25. So by use the energy savings product, we still can hit the target to make our customer feel convenient in our store. So which is range in 24 Celsius to 25 Celsius. So no problem with it.
Yeah, excellent. What was the last one? Okay, yeah. So one more time now.
Yeah.
So other businesses following 7-Eleven's lead and saving energy. What do you think about that? Let me rephrase that because that was very poor phrasing.
Yeah.
So 7-Eleven are doing a great job saving energy.
Yeah.
How do you feel about other businesses? Do you think other businesses should also save energy?
Yeah, for me, 7-Eleven get the good energy saving in this program. So the other business should follow 7-Eleven step to do the energy program in their business.
Yeah. Cool.
Take one.
Hi, I'm Felicia, General Manager of Ritas Energy. F-E-L-I-C-I-A.
Roll. Felicia, take two.
Hi, I'm Felicia, General Manager of Ritas Energy. F-E-L-I-C-I-A.
Excellent. Okay. Right, so to me this time,
Right.
what is your name and your role in this project?
My name is Felicia. So I'm the General Manager of Ritas Energy. So basically I oversee everything that is happening in the EM project. And I also do facilities maintenance. So EM is just one portion of it. So Teresa is the project engineer. So Teresa and the data analyst, they report to me in terms of the summary of savings and the progress of the installation and things like that. So I basically see the overview of everything. Yeah.
So really good answer. One thing to note
Okay.
is try and avoid abbreviations.
Okay.
Like EM,
Oh,
because
right.
they're doing it right now. So,
Okay.
so that's fine. There'll be another take. So don't worry.
Okay.
Okay. So in terms of the impact so far, how would you sum up our impact? Is it met expectations, exceeded expectations?
The impact of the project, we actually did better than the expectations. So the expected savings that we're supposed to get was about 10%, and we are getting about 10% all the way to 30%. So on average, the range of savings that we're getting. Yep.
What about the best performing stores? How high can that get?
Best performing stores, it can go as high as 36%. Like for this particular store that we're at, it's about 35%. So yeah, one of the best performers, close to.
So what about more typically then? What do you expect sort of on average across the estate?
On average, we can achieve about, if we fully install all the energy saving devices, we do expect to see about 20 to 25% savings.
Okay, great.
Yeah.
What might that equate to in other terms for a normal store in terms of kilowatt hours?
Saving, you mean? About 3,000. Is that right?
Yeah, just over 3,000. Yeah. So
Is
to
that-
reflect the questions, you might say. So for normal store,
For normal
that would
store.
equate to just over 3,000.
Okay.
Make sense?
Right.
Okay, so
We'll start that again.
yeah. So what are the average? What's the average performance expected for the stores?
Okay. If all the energy saving devices are being fully installed, we expect to see about 20 to 25% savings.
Okay, great. And in a normal store, like this one, for example, it's saving 35%. How much would that equate to per month in terms of kilowatt hours?
Per month, it will equate to about 3,000 kilowatt hours. Yeah, around there.
So what about over the life of the contract in the whole estate? What is the impact projected to be?
The projected savings that we aim to achieve will be around $8 million US. Yep, for the whole course of the contract.
Okay. So we'll do that one again. So you're
Oh.
totally right on the dollars.
I'm supposed to say something else?
CO2
Oh.
is the one. So almost 10,000 tons of CO2.
Okay.
So $8 million, 10,000 tons of CO2.
Okay.
I think it's sensible to reflect both because then you've got the financial and the
Sure.
environmental.
All right.
So, so across the whole estate, in terms of impact, what are you projecting?
We are projecting about $8 million US for this entire project, which constitute to about 10,000 tons of CO2 savings. Yeah.
Okay, good. So the next question is about translating that into accessible figures. So if you remember, there were two things. One of them is almost 2,500 homes
Okay.
equivalent switched off.
205.
Was 380,000 air miles. Make sense?
Yep.
So 2,500 homes, 380,000 air miles. Okay, so taking those figures then, can you put them into something that people would understand?
To be more relatable to layman terms, basically, it's about our savings is able to power about 2,500 homes, or if you want to convert it to air miles, it's about 380,000 air miles of savings.
Okay,
Yep.
cool. Right, so now you know that. Let's run them both together. So
Oh.
I'll ask you about the impact across the estate, and then start by the financial figure and the CO2, and then say that translates into the homes. So if you remember, 8
Everything.
million, yeah. So there's four things: 8
8
million,
million. 10,000 tons.
CO2, 2,500 homes, 380,000 air miles.
So I need to say them one shot.
Yeah, yeah. It's not actually that long an answer when you put it together.
Okay.
Just got to remember the four figures. Okay, so across the whole 7-Eleven estate, what sort of results are you projecting?
We're projecting about $8 million US savings, which is about 10,000. Oh, should I do that
That's
again?
fine, that's fine.
10,000 tons CO2, right?
Yeah.
And that was 380,000 air miles.
Yes.
It's like
It's difficult, but you've got loads of text this one.
too many figures.
Okay, so across the whole estate, what sort of impact are you projecting?
We are projecting about $8 million US savings, which translate to about 10,000 tons of CO2 savings. Or in layman terms, our savings can power up to 2,500 homes. Oh crap.
So close. That was good. That was really good.
But air miles.
380,000 air miles.
Yeah, 380,000 air miles.
Okay, so that was really good up to that point. So you got 3/4 of it nailed.
I need to come again. Oh my god.
Okay, so across the estate, talk to me about the projected impact.
Yeah, so we project about $8 million US savings for this project, which is about 10,000 tons of CO2 savings. In layman terms, it translates to about 2,500 house being powered, and 380,000 air miles saved.
Perfect. Great. So in terms of the impact then, and increasing that impact over time, what role does shared savings play? Does it provide an incentive for you to keep pushing that performance?
Yeah, sure. With shared saving, basically it gives us motivation, basically. So the more we save, we both parties actually benefit. So of course it drives us to want to save more.
Okay, great. How do you think that might play out in the next few years? Are there things that you're sort of looking to introduce in the future that might increase the savings?
Yeah, we will continue to work together with BESS to try to see whether there are any other technologies out there, and also do our own research and see whether we can get other solutions in to, increase the savings, for sure.
Okay. In terms of the solution that's in there at the moment, is there one product that stands out most?
For us, definitely the ACES 2. Because it can give us savings from the control.
I'll stop you there. So for that question,
Right.
it's really important that you reflect the question. If you imagine on its
Okay.
own,
Right.
that answer will make
Let's
sense.
try again.
So for us, the most important or
Most
impressive
important.
product so far has been.
Sure.
Okay, so with the whole solution that's been installed, is there one product particularly that is most sort of impressive?
For us, the most impressive equipment would be the ACES 2. Because it's able to give us savings by controlling the air conditioning in the store. At the same time, it also allows us to actually look at the temperatures at the store, to ensure that we are achieving savings, at the same time not foregoing the comfort level of our customer.
Okay, so on that point, that was a really good answer.
Okay.
How important is customer experience and the fact that the solution that we're putting in here doesn't have a negative impact on customer experience?
It's very important because customer experience is important for our clients, so we take that very seriously. We don't want to, impose our energy saving device and at the same time receive complaints from customers saying that the store is actually very hot when you step in and they are not comfortable shopping here. So yeah, so we take our client, concerns seriously as well.
So what about the client? And as you understand it, how does the client feel about the project so far and the impact it's had?
Thus far, we have actually achieved more than 10% contractually, so they are, sort of satisfied at our results. But we hope to, achieve more. We hope to achieve about 20%, so that our client can also present to their board. It makes them look better. Oh, is that a terrible answer? Try start again.
Yeah, that had the makings of a good answer. Yeah.
I was trying to come up with something.
Yeah, I hadn't asked it on before, so that's fine.
Okay.
Okay, so talking about the impact then, how do you feel that the client feels about the project so far?
The client is satisfied thus far with our contractual savings of 10%, but of course they hope that we can achieve more. So we're striving to achieve about 20 to 25% savings for them.
So in terms of this solution here, do you think it's a sort of solution that would only work in Malaysia in 7-Eleven, or do you think it's quite repeatable elsewhere?
For this solution, I think it's quite repeatable elsewhere, because everywhere has air conditioning. So as long as there's air conditioning, you can apply the ACES 2. And then the voltage optimizer, you can apply everywhere as well, because it actually taps the main incoming. So as long as you use electricity, you definitely can use the voltage optimizer. Yeah.
Okay. So again, that was a really good answer.
Okay.
I might sort of bookend it. So you started off saying it's very repeatable. You might say that sort of towards the end as well. So you gave a couple of reasons why, which is really good. You might say at the end. So yeah, very much a repeatable solution.
All right.
Makes sense. Okay, so would you say this solution is sort of isolated to Malaysia and 7-Eleven, or do you think it has the scope to be repeatable elsewhere?
The solution is definitely repeatable elsewhere. As long as you have an air conditioning, you can use ACES 2 to get savings in terms of the air conditioning. And then for the voltage optimizer, it taps the main supply. So as long as you use electricity, you can use the voltage optimizer to stabilize the voltage and get savings. So definitely repeatable.
Perfect, really good. Okay, good. Right, I think that's the full take.
Great.
So it's really good. So
Thanks.
So we will do one more take, but I thought that was really good, particularly towards the end.
Felicia, take 3.
Okay, so can you tell me your name and what your role is with this project?
My name is Felicia. I'm the general manager of Ritas Energy.
Okay. So what, with this particular project, what role do you play?
Basically, I oversee the whole entire project. So people like the project manager and also the data analyst, they will report to me on a weekly basis and then tell me about the savings, installation progress, and things like that. So I'll feedback to them if I have any feedback at all to give. Yeah.
Okay, great. So in terms of the project,
Mhm.
how would you consider the impact so far? Is it met expectations, exceeded expectations?
So in terms of the project expectations, contractually we are supposed to hit 10%. So we have actually exceeded the expectation. Our savings ranges from 10% all the way to 30%.
Sorry.
Oh no.
Okay, Felicia, take 4.
Okay, so in terms of the impact and expectations, has it met expectations, exceeded?
So our contractual expectations was 10% savings. We have actually exceeded expectation. Our average saving ranges from 10% all the way to 30%.
Okay, great. And what about the best savings that we've seen?
The best savings that we have seen thus far is about 36% per month. For example, this store that we're currently at is about 35%, so close to one of our best stores as well. Yeah.
Okay, great. What about when we look at that across the whole estate and the life of the project? What can you tell me about the sort of projected impact?
For this contract, the projected savings would be around $8 million US dollars, which translate to about 10,000 tons of CO2 savings. Correct.
That's fine. So, 8
Start
million,
again.
10,000,
8 million, 10,000, 2,000.
Malaysian
Ugh.
homes,
Okay.
280,000 homes.
Yeah, can we try that again? No.
So, in terms of the impact across the whole estate,
Yeah.
what are you projecting?
We project about 8 million US dollar savings, which translate to about 10,000 tons of CO2 savings. In layman terms, it's about 2,500 houses electricity bill savings, or 380,000 air miles saved.
Really good. Okay, what about the shared savings aspect? Does that incentivize you to keep saving more?
Sure. In terms of shared saving, should we start again? Yeah. So in terms of definitely shared savings does incentivize us because the savings are shared, and we will want to achieve more savings so that we can get. So I'll try again. Yeah. So the question was, so I can repeat it.
In terms of the shared savings, does that incentivize you guys to save more?
Yes, definitely. The shared saving will incentivize us to save more, because if we're able to save more, we get more savings. Both parties will get more savings.
Okay, great. In terms of the products that have been introduced so far, what would you say is the most impressive?
The most impressive product would be definitely the Asus 2, because it's able to get savings from the air conditioning, and at the same time we are able to actually monitor the temperature in the store, so that when we achieve savings, we don't actually forego the comfort of the customer. Yep.
Okay. And do you think this is a solution that could work elsewhere?
Yes, definitely it's a solution that is repeatable elsewhere, because Asus 2 can be applied on air conditioning, so anywhere that has air conditioning can use Asus 2. And then the voltage optimizer as well, it can be applied on the main supply. So as long as you use electricity, you can use the voltage optimizer to actually optimize the voltage. Yeah, definitely repeatable.
Good. Right, last question. So in terms of the impact, how do you feel the client feels about it?
The client is actually happy with our results right now, but they will hope that we can achieve more savings, of course, because the target is about 20% now. Yeah.
Okay, great. Yeah.
I hope that's good.
Okay, got it. Felicia, take 1.
Hi, good morning. My name is Tressa. I'm from Ritas Energy and I'm working as a project manager. So my name is spelled like Tresa.
That's good. That's just for the editor.
Yeah, okay.
That's fine. Okay, so I'm going to ask you a very similar question to start. So just
Okay.
your name and what your role is. So you answered it perfectly.
Okay, so I need to answer it again or not?
Yes, I'll answer it again, but when I ask it.
Okay.
Good. Okay, so what is your name and your role with this project?
Okay, so my name is Tressa, and I'm working for Ritas Energy as a project manager. Do you want to smell my name again?
No,
Okay,
fine,
great.
fine. So maybe let's do that one again, but obviously
Okay.
without you asking me again.
Sorry.
That's fine. So what is your name and your role with this project?
Okay, so my name is Tressa. I'm working as a project manager in Ritas Energy.
Okay, good. And who are Retas? What do they do?
Okay, so Ritas Energy basically have two different departments. So one of it is the energy saving department, and the other one is the facilities maintenance. So under energy saving is basically what we're doing at the moment. So we're trying to save energy in terms of the equipments, for example, the air conditioning units, the chiller, and the overall store.
Okay, good. So tell me about the project itself then. Can you give me an idea of how big it is?
Okay, so in terms of the project, we actually have a contract with 7-Eleven. So that is about 616 stores. So there is 314 stores just for phase 1, and then another 302 during phase 2. So it started in September for phase 2, and phase 1 started at February this year.
Okay, perfect. And can you give me any idea of sort of their size? Do you know the figures that you use?
Okay, so on average in a month, for all the 616 stores.
Sorry, just pause there.
Okay.
It's easier on there.
Okay.
Okay, so can you give me any figures that help illustrate the size?
So in terms of the size of this project, on average, it takes. Sorry, do I have to start again? Yeah. Okay.
Okay, so can you give me any figures that help to illustrate the size of this project?
Okay, so the size of the project is actually on average, it consumes about 2.4 million ringgit Malaysia on average. So every month, that's how much it consumes. And in terms of USD, that's approximately 580,000 USD. And in terms of kilowatt hour, that would make it about 4.8 million kilowatt hour.
Would you like one more time? So that was good.
Okay.
But obviously you paused before first. Now you've done it once, you should be really smooth.
Okay.
Okay, so can you give me any statistics that show that scale?
Okay, so the project is actually about 616 stores, and that consumes about 2.4 million ringgit Malaysia per month, which sums up to about 580,000 USD, and that is equivalent to 5.8 million kilowatt hour.
Yeah, that's good. When people are being interviewed,
Yep.
they have a tendency to start their answers with something like, okay, like they've just received a question. Because I'm not in the video, it's just you.
Okay.
It's sort of smoother if you just jump straight into the question. So try and avoid saying something like, okay, when you start. It's not
Okay.
awful because we can cut it out, but
Yep.
it just makes it a little bit easier.
Okay.
So, which products have been used on the 7-Eleven stand?
So far, the products that we use in 7-Eleven is Aniscope and ACES2 and voltage optimizers. So those three.
Okay, good. So that's perfect. So straight into the questions. So what about Aniscope? What is it? What does it do?
So Aniscope is a live monitoring device. So basically you can see how much the equipment consumes per minute, per hour, and per day. So that's really useful. It gives us visibility and it gives us real-time monitoring. And also it's really easy to install. So that's great. In terms of ACES2, it's more like a smart temperature control. So it removes the temperature control of a remote control, and it basically overrides the system. And then it controls the room temperature at a set temperature that we want, for example 24 degrees Celsius. That's comfortable for all of our customers as well. Sorry.
That's okay. That's fine. What about voltage optimization?
So for the voltage optimizer, it is something that we install at the beginning, so at the incoming of the electricity. So it immediately drops the electricity of the overall store. So it's not just one specific equipment, it's the whole store. Yes, that's great.
In terms of the Aniscope, and you touched on it a little bit, but what are the best features?
Best features of the best features of Aniscope, I would say, would definitely have to be the real-time monitoring, because it lets you see in detail the energy consumption by minute, by hour, and by day. And you don't just have the option to look at energy. You can look at the current, so you can identify if the air conditioning unit is going to be faulty. You can look at the power factor, and you can even, because of that, you can implement further stages for energy saving. So that's great in that sense. Yeah.
So what about customer experience? Does this solution have any impact on the customer experience at a certain level?
So at the moment, because the installation for all three products are done in the back room, so there's no disturbances to the customer. So that's one very great point about these three products. And the second thing is because ASUS 2 is meant to control the room temperature in such a way that it doesn't make it too hot. It tries to maintain at 24 degrees Celsius. So that's really good because we don't, sorry. How do you say you don't,
What should I say? Like fluctuate?
no, like you basically, you know what, never mind. Ignore that.
It was very. I was about to say that was a very good answer.
Sorry.
I mean, yeah, you can easily leave that bit locked in and it'll still be very good answer.
Okay.
So we'll go back to that then.
Okay.
So, in terms of, yeah, okay. So in terms of the customer experience for second level, has the solution impacted that?
Okay, so our solutions are the three solutions that we have, which is Aniscope, ASUS 2, and VO. They are all installed at the back room, so it doesn't really affect the trading area where customers come in, so they have no idea what's going on, which is great. And it doesn't disturb their customer experience. And the other thing with ASUS 2, it doesn't reduce the temperature of the store until a very high temperature. So that's great because it still maintains comfortability of the store.
So in terms of that solution, is there anything that we're not doing now that you think you'll look to introduce in the future?
I think we can definitely do more in refrigerators because at the moment we have an overall solution, which is the VO, but we could still add in potentially queues for more energy saving for the refrigerator.
And speaking more broadly, do you think the solution that Retes has applied here could be applied to just about any convenience store?
I think that in Malaysia it would be applicable throughout because the incoming voltage is at 415 volt, so you definitely could use voltage optimizer to drop it to 380. And then for ASUS 2, because Malaysia is hot, so all of the stores mainly in general have air conditioning unit, so you definitely can apply them. So yeah, it is a great solution for all convenience stores.
Right, that's cool. That's it.
Okay.
You have
Roll. Felicia, take 2.
right. So can you tell me your name and your?
I cannot do it.
That's very.
I'm so sorry, it's really difficult. I'm so sorry. Could we get a chair so that he can sit down? Yeah, maybe.
Probably too low.
Sorry.
So we'll start giving an introduction.
Okay.
And we'll talk about the scale of the project together, so the websites.
Okay.
And everything is
Okay, Felicia, take 3.
Okay, so can you tell me your name and your role?
So my name is Tressa. I'm the project manager for Vitas Energy.
Sorry.
Restart again. Yeah.
So name and your role.
Okay. So my name is Tressa, and I'm actually the project manager for Vitas Energy.
And who are Retes? What do they do?
Okay, so Vitas Energy is basically we're providing a energy saving. Can I start again? Thanks.
And try not to stop with the okay. It's fine. And that's what you're over.
Yep.
So, so let's run them together. So your name and job title, and then obviously you mentioned Retes.
Okay.
Go straight into Retes.
What it does. Yeah. Okay. Okay, so my name is Tressa. I'm working for Vitas Energy as a project manager. So what we do at the moment is that we have two different departments. So one of it is the energy saving department and the other one is facilities maintenance. So under energy saving department is basically what we're doing here. So we have implemented energy saving measures in the store.
Okay, perfect. Very good. So talk to me about this project then. Can you give me an idea of the scale?
Okay, so for this project, we signed a contract with 7-Eleven, and that consists of about 616 stores. So for the 616 stores, on average, in a month, it consumes about 2.4 million ringgit Malaysia, which translates to 580,000 USD. And in terms of kilowatt hour, that is 5.8 million kilowatt hour. Yeah, approximately.
So perfect, except for the little stumble on the
Yeah.
screen. So if we just do that one more time.
Okay.
So can you give me an idea of the scale of the problem?
Okay, so we signed a contract with 7-Eleven, and that is actually 616 stores with them. So on average for the 616 stores per month, it consumes about 580,000 USD, and that's approximately 4.8 to 5.8 million kilowatt hours per month on average.
Okay, so what about the solution itself? And what products have been used to save energy?
Okay, thus far we have installed 3 products in 7-Eleven. One is Eniscope, another one is Asus 2, and the last one is VO. So all those products are actually provided and supplied by our partner BEST.
Okay, great. So one by one now, starting with Eniscope. What is it? What does it do with the project?
So Eniscope is actually a very good energy monitoring device. So it gives you visibility, it gives you eyes so that you can see how much the equipment is consuming. So it narrows down to, for example, the air conditioning unit, the chiller unit, and also it gives you real-time monitoring. So you can look at it in terms of per minute, per hour, and per day. And not just energy, you can look at current, you can look at power factor. So it's a great help.
Perfect, really good. What about Asus 2?
So Asus 2 is similar to a smart controller. So it takes away the function of a remote control in temperature sense. So it takes away the temperature control. And then what we do is we sort of control the temperature at the store to a set temperature that we agreed on. So for this store, it's 24 degrees Celsius. Sorry.
I'm going to make you do that one again.
Okay.
The answer was pretty good, but just because
Yeah.
of the tip, just got sharp.
Okay, sure.
The answer was good.
Thanks.
Okay, so what about
Yeah.
Asus 2?
So for Asus 2, it's similar to a smart controller. So it removes the temperature function of a remote control and it replaces it with Asus 2. So what it does is we have a temperature probe in the store, and then it measures the surrounding temperature. And if we set it at 24 degrees Celsius, it cuts the compressor of the aircon in and out and maintains it at 24 degrees Celsius.
And what about the
So for voltage optimizer, we actually install it at the beginning itself, like at the main incomer. So it drops the voltage immediately from 415 volt to 380 volt, and that's how we get the energy saving. So it's a very set 8 to 10% saving immediately.
what about the impact on customer experience?
Okay, so the 3 of our equipments that we've installed in 7-Eleven, it's done in the back room, so it doesn't disturb the trading area where we are at the moment, and customers will not even be able to see it, so they wouldn't be aware that there is a device. And also Asus 2 is actually installed.
That's good stuff.
Okay.
So yeah, I mean, I think the way you're structuring the answer is really good as well.
Okay.
So the fact that it's all back room, so
Yep.
anything like that. And then the second part, obviously keeping the temperature
Yeah.
level there for these equipment. That's really good. So
Okay.
you got the right answer.
I just need to think.
Yeah. Okay, so talk to me about customer experience.
Okay, so 3 of our equipment, Eniscope, Asus 2 and VO, is installed in the back room. So the customers will not be aware, they don't go to the back room, they're usually only in the trading area. So that's very good, they don't see it. Okay, and also during the install it's very easy, so it doesn't disturb them as well. And then one of our product, Asus 2, is meant to control the temperature in the store. So it's meant to retain the comfortability at 24 degrees Celsius, so everyone is comfortable. If it's too cold, it's not necessarily a good thing as well. Yeah.
Okay, perfect. So what about Eniscope specifically? Are there any features of Eniscope that would be particularly useful?
So Eniscope is a really good device because it gives you like a more detailed look into the store. So even if you're far away, you can access to it and you can see how much the store is consuming in terms of kilowatt hour, in terms of current, in terms of power factor. So let's say you are monitoring the air conditioning unit, and the current you're noticing that is getting higher and higher. So you know that equipment potentially is going to be faulty. So you can act on it before you even, you can act on it immediately.
Is there anything that we're not doing in this project at the moment that you think has scope to be useful in the future?
I think that there are still areas that we can look into, for example, the refrigerator. So even though the VO targets the entire equipment in the store, in terms of refrigerator, I think we can still improve, like maybe looking into Qs, which is also supplied by our partner BEST, and that aims to reduce the compressor function in the refrigerator.
lastly, do you think the solution that Retes have applied here is applicable beyond 7-Eleven or beyond Malaysia?
I think that the solution here is definitely applicable throughout the world. Number one, because VO, for example, it can drop your voltage to the minimum optimum range of your equipment. So you definitely see a set saving already. That's one. And in terms of ACES 2, any convenience store, any store for that matter, that uses air conditioning unit, you can definitely apply it there and you will see savings from it.
Okay. So that's another take.
Okay.
Ada lagi?
Okay, roll. Okay, Tressa, take 4.
Okay, so can you give me your name and your role with this project?
So my name is Tressa. I'm working for Ritas Energy as a project manager. So what our company does is basically we have two different departments. So one of it is the energy saving department and another one is the facilities maintenance department.
Good. The compressor that
Yeah.
Are you happy with that, William? Man?
Am I still too soft?
Okay. So talk to me about the project. Can you give me an idea of the scale?
Okay, so our project with 7-Eleven is basically we signed a contract with them for 616 stores. So in terms of, I was supposed to stop there, I think, yeah.
Okay. Ready? So go again. So talk to me about the scale.
Okay, so we've signed a contract with 7-Eleven and that consists of approximately 616 stores. So phase 1, that amounts to 314 stores and phase 2, 302 stores.
Okay, good. And have you got any figures? That help illustrate that scale?
For our project, for the 616 stores, that amounts to approximately on average 580,000 USD per month that they have to pay in terms of TMB bill, the electricity bill. And that equates to approximately 4.8 to 5.8 million kilowatt hours of energy consumption.
So in terms of the solution, what products make up the solution?
For 7-Eleven, the solutions that we applied is Eniscope, ACES 2, and Voltage Optimizer, the VO.
Okay, great. And sort of one by one, can you tell me what they are and what they do?
Okay, so for Eniscope, it's actually a live monitoring device, so it helps you to identify or to look at the energy consumption per minute, per hour, and per day. It also allows you to look into other parameters as well, like current, power factor, and so on. And it's also really easy to install, so that's good.
And ACES 2?
For ACES 2, it's similar to a smart controller concept, so it controls the temperature of the store and it maintains it at a certain temperature. And it's also able to schedule. So for example, you can allow one aircon to run and then the other aircon to run later.
And lastly, VO?
So for Voltage Optimizer, it's actually something that we install at the beginning of the store, for example, so at the electrical line. So it drops the voltage by a certain percentage and that's how you get the savings.
So with all this going on, does it have an impact on customer experience?
The three of our products that we install in 7-Eleven are all installed in the back room, not in the trading area. So the customers are not going to be able to witness that. So they are completely not affected or not interrupted in that sense. And one of the product ACES 2 is actually to control the temperature of the store. So it basically maintains the temperature at 24 degrees Celsius. And so it keeps it comfortable. It's not too low and it's not too high.
So what about Eniscope specifically? Can you talk about any particular features of Eniscope that are good?
Okay, so Eniscope, I think one of the great things about Eniscope is that it's able to monitor. So that's one of the things, and it allows us to compare before and after. So how much we are saving and how more can we save further. And it allows us to see more detail, for example, the current. So current is very useful because it tells us the performance of the equipment. So if let's say it's about to fail, we would be able to identify it from the graphs as well.
Really good. Is there anything that we're not doing at the moment that you think would be valuable in the future?
I think we can improve on the refrigeration system as well, because we haven't really done a specific energy saving product, like input any products in this area. So we only did a VO, which is the overall equipment. So we can definitely put in the queues and work with BESS to come up with more ideas.
And then lastly, would you say the solution that Red Test has applied here is repeatable elsewhere?
The solution that is applied here is definitely applicable across all the region because you can use it at any stores that has air conditioning unit. You can definitely apply ACES to. And for stores, for example, in Malaysia, we have 415 voltage. So if you use VO, you can definitely drop it to 380 and it's still safe for all the equipment. So you just have to look at the standards for each country and it should be good.
Right, we'll take, I thought that was a really good take.
Oh, that was it?